everyone, welcome to Happy. We took No Mow May very seriously. This is our front yard, and this is our front yard. We have a 2-acre exhibition garden. We're going to show you how we adapted that exhibition garden to live with the weeds. The weeds don't do no harm. Awesome for pollinators. Welcome to Happy.
Hey, wake up!
So this is the heart of our garden, and what you can see is we got weeds going down the center of the garden. Now it's at the end of May and we will do some mowing, but adjacent to that is our planting rows, and you can see what the wood chips do to prevent the weeds from getting out of control. Did we do some weeding in here in early spring? We sure did. It's the creeping Charlie that gets you, especially a creeping Charlie really likes rotted wood chips, but otherwise this stays clean, and this we could just really allow to grow. And what do we get out of that? We get happy pollinators. And when you get happy pollinators, what do you get? But this is the sweet scarlet goumi. You got to check out the webpage for sweet scarlet goumi. I give it 15 reasons why I think she's literally the best plant around. She's fruiting right now, end of May. We could pick the reddest ones, and enjoy them, along with our weeds. So this is another example here. We allow the grasses to grow. This is going to keep the creeping Charlie at bay. Grass is fantastic for the soil. It's got a great way of percolating water in deeper into the soil, keeping the soil moist. And right next to it, we have this thriving herb garden. Now, I just planted her like a year ago. Look for that video to drop. Look at this sage. Tell me that's not a happy sage. No water. Nothing in here gets water. But this is about how weeds can coincide with the garden. I'm not saying that you need to do that. What this exemplifies is that it is possible. It is possible to make a garden, an exhibition garden, pollinator friendly and largely weed free. All sorts of good herbs in here. Marjoram. This is like lemon catnip or something like that. Some other wonderful girls. Horseradish. And by the way, this is a local weed. And that local weed does just fine. We don't mind her. The biggest problem actually is the Japanese stilt grass, I think it's called. This sucker will get around. But you see how clean the wood chips are. Clean, clean, clean. Lavender, about to bloom. And what do we have next door? Weeds. And this is pollinator food. This keeps our pollinators happy. It keeps them thriving. And the two can coincide. Now this is the lower garden. We will be mowing. It's the end of May. But until we get to that area, we could just allow these weeds to grow. And what ends up being weeds at this time of year, as you go into May, is really the grasses. This is a funky weed that could be very hard to pull, but for the most part, what you see in here is nothing but grasses. Nothing but grasses. Before the grasses emerged, there was just this constant series of different flowering weeds of different colors. Something would emerge. It was a wonderful white, yellow, blue, and then it would go away as another weed came up. Now that was early in spring, this series of wonderful colored weeds. And then the grasses kind of take over from that point. Grass is very important for soil health. Just wait until this part is done. We'll have the same amount of grass and olive trees, peppercorn trees, guava trees, cherry, nectarine, and a whole bunch of herbs. If we can do it, so can you. So this is an example of us just leaving the garden alone. And what did we end up getting? Well, we got this wonderful native gooseberry, beautiful yarrow. This is going to be wonderful for the pollinators, and it's a healthy plant. Our lyre leaf sage has spread very nicely. It's just gone to seed. That's what you have in here. But this strawberry is native to North America. It makes for a wonderful full coverage that really blocks out all the weeds. This is what the fruit looks like. It's actually pretty damn big for a native strawberry. We got awesome soil. Another plant that turned out to be a wonderful weed is oregano. Oregano just spread, so we got oregano colliding with strawberry. Oh, and I smell that strawberry on my fingers. But intermittently, you also got some funky weeds. So, I mean, you can kind of pull them out before they seed. I don't know what this weed is, but it is a weed. That's oregano. Another ground cover that mixes with the weeds, and if you just leave it alone, it does its thing. And as you can see, it really has no impact on the health of the trees. These trees are now mature enough to where the weeds aren't stealing away a substantial amount of minerals. We planted these trees in huge planting plots, and so all the good nutrients are down deep, and that's what our girls and our Rosianka. Look at the Rosianka. Look at all the fruit coming on the Rosianka. That's what they're thriving on. They're thriving on the soil that's down deep. Fuyu, I think, should know persimmon. A little Japanese girl, 100% Japanese. Lots of soil. Lots of soil. So the weeds really have no impact. And you can live and have an exhibition garden and weeds. It doesn't have to be one or the other. We don't really pick any more weeds out of our wood chips because we let the lawn grow tall. There doesn't seem to be a relationship between the two. The other benefit of letting grass grow tall, it's the best way to keep the creeping Charlie at bay. It's the creeping Charlie which is an invasive. That seems to be the most vigorous weed here at Heppy. Living with weeds means you're still going to do work. Sometimes it creeps up into your garden, like this stilt grass. This bed is 3 years old. We've got a Cassandra persimmon here, some cluster mint, and a beautyberry. And after 3 years, the wood chip rots out. It looks like that. It really just turns into soil, which is awesome. So living with weeds, you know, you're going to be doing work. I think we'd be weeding this area anyways because we didn't put in fresh wood chips over the last 2.5 years. I probably planted these in the fall like 2.5 years ago. Right now it's spring. It's the very end of May. So we got some cleaning to do. No big deal. And we get some fresh wood chips here. Grass and weeds are your friend. They're food for the pollinator. They filter water. They capture heavy rains. They help with soil erosion. They sequester CO2. They give off oxygen. I think in the future, the days of the English lawn is sort of going to start fading away, and people are going to start thinking more naturally, natively, intelligently, objectively about what the value of grass and weeds adds to to our environment. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. If you have any comments, let me know. So far, I'm able to answer all comments. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone else if you can. Love you. Take care.